Hi there, so my name's Michelle and I'm a physiotherapist, so I'm going to talk you through now my top exercises for a rotator cuff injury where external rotation is more of an issue for you. So if you find that when you're doing external rotation, which means that you're opening up of effectively like a door of your shoulder, you tend to get more pain. So particularly if you're getting resisted movement through that. So if you put a little bit of pressure on it, if you're kind of getting some rotation in irritation when you're doing some isometric contraction, and it's normally quite a deep pain within the shoulder joint, not so much when you're not doing things, but particularly when you add some resistance to it. So if this is you, these are some exercises that you can try and help. Now the first thing to do is to try and get your shoulder blade in a good position. So set your shoulder and your scapular control. So first of all, just think about the position of your shoulder. In our lifestyles today, we tend to do a lot of work at computers and tend to be quite rounded in our shoulders. But we want to really encourage you to think about bringing your shoulder blades back so that you're not rounding through. So first of all, you're just gently going to lift your shoulders up to your ears, roll them all the way back, and just to loosen off a couple of times. Then you're going to come up and you're just gently going to drop them down. And you're going to imagine that your shoulder blades are heading towards the opposite back pocket. So you're coming up, down, and just gently squeezing them down towards your opposite back pocket. You're not doing a complete retraction, but you should feel a little tightening between the shoulder blades, like your shoulder blades are being flattened against your back rather than poking out. And this is a starting position that you're going to use for any of the exercises that I give you. Now, the first exercise is doing an isometric contraction. Isometric meaning a held contraction in external rotation. So you can use a door. You're going to come into a neutral position first. You're going to come against the wall with that arm, and you're just gently going to set your shoulders and push into the wall with your hand. So your hand's not physically going anywhere because the wall's stopping it. You should feel that you're working your shoulder blade by giving resistance there. When you're building yourself up, you may find that it's uncomfortable whilst you're doing the exercise, but as soon as you finish the movement, you shouldn't be left with any residual pain. So then you're going to take your arm out a little bit further and you're going to push against it until you can feel that you're getting that sweet spot, that you're working the right area, and you're going to hold it. So start with hold it for 10 seconds, then build yourself up to 50 seconds and aim to repeat that about 3 times, little and often throughout the day if you can. Okay, and you might find that this is pain-free, and if that area is pain-free, then you can come a little bit further out until you find the sweet spot and you hold it. If you're still pain-free here, you might even want to start to take your arm up the wall, still getting some external rotation, so we're externally rotating through here, but you might want to add some abduction in. The next exercise is a really lovely one, kind of thinking about drawing your shoulder blades down and in, getting that scapular control. So if you're in a gym, you might be doing some lat pull downs, but rather than just yanking down and pulling up and having your shoulders kind of come up and down, you're really thinking about setting your shoulder blades, controlling, squeezing your elbows in and then back up, squeezing in, and the way back up is a really control bit as well. So you're really thinking about slow and control back up, squeeze those shoulder blades down. Your shoulders should never hitch up towards your ears. Then you can use a bit of theraband. Now when I'm doing shoulder work, I encourage you to use the lighter theraband, like the yellow or the red one, because if you use a bigger theraband, you're just going to over-recruit the bigger muscles. And I actually want you to use the weaker, more stabilising muscles and encourage them to work. So using, say, a red or theraband, you're going to attach it to your door. Now I've just created a knot and looped it over the edge of the door. I'm then going to pop my hand into here and I'm going to come flat against the door, obviously negotiating any door handles. Squeeze your shoulder blades, set them just as we did before. Have your thumb facing up and your palm facing away from the door. You're slow and controlled, going to allow your arm to come up along the wall. Now ideally you want to do this on a flat surface because I'm kind of negotiating the lumps and bumps of the door, but you kind of get the gist. And then when you're here, you're squeezing your shoulder blade down to come all the way back down again. Slow and control it up. Now what's going to want to happen is your shoulder's going to want to creep up to your ear. You've got to keep engaging all the way through your muscles underneath your arm and around your rib cage to get that control through and back up and down. Okay, so the next exercise, you're going to get your theraband and turn it into a loop, and you're going to keep your elbows into your sides, push your theraband away so that your hands are a little bit further out than your elbows, and already you should feel that. So from here, you're going to scrape your arms up a wall and back down again. So I'm going to do it onto here. Make sure you can still see me. And we're going to scrape our arms up and bring them back down. Really keeping control of those shoulders as you're coming up and down. Okay, final one is the adapted press up. So with the adapted press up, you are going to do it against a wall. You are going to think about having your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades down towards your back pockets of your trousers again. So set that scapula. Take your feet away from the wall, and you're gently going to do like a tricep in and back up. So what I mean by tricep is I'm not getting a chest press with my arms out to the side. I'm tucking my elbows in. My creases of my hands are facing up towards the ceiling, and I'm controlling down like that. Okay, so really getting that control through the shoulders. Set, down, back up. Okay, what you can do is then make it that little bit harder by coming away from the wall, maybe going onto the floor or onto a chair first and then lowering yourself down. You can also use a ball that can be a great sort of stability exercise. So for example, using a ball onto the wall and working through a press up that position, or even just doing some proprioceptive work against the wall. I've got a light switch in the way here, but kind of get the idea. I hope that was helpful. And in terms of sets and reps, it's really difficult to give you a set rule. I would say build yourself up gradually and start just trying to work on maybe 2 or 3 of those exercises. Really get control. The most important thing is control, and then endurance and stability through the joint. So I'd rather you did repetitions well than you just bashed out 3 sets of 12. So if you do 6 and you've really got control from them, that you're going to get so much more benefit from the exercise. I hope that was helpful, and comment below, let me know how you get on. All right, bye.